Whole 19 Group and Zakar retail stores. But before that, let's just take a look at this short video. Deremi Ajidahu, founder of Whole 19 Group, has run his business empire for over 2 decades. His products and services span across the luxury, logistics, real estate, sports and media sectors. Zakar, his luxury company named after his daughter, is one of Nigeria's largest and most respected luxury retailers. Stockist to over 30 world-class brands, Zakar is also responsible for the launch of Tag Heuer's first boutique in Africa and Hublot's first boutique in Nigeria. His media and sports company is the leading player in premium sports consultancy in Nigeria, while his real estate ventures are bringing new frontiers to construction. When it comes to the world of luxury, Deremi Ajidahu is front and center as a brand leader. Welcome to the show, the man, the myth, and the legend himself, Mr. Ajidahu. You've told me how to pronounce that properly.
You got it now. Ajidahu.
But
all
as
the way
the
down.
son of a shipping tycoon, how did you venture from private education, being educated in England, Switzerland, Nigeria, to entering the retail sector?
Well, that's a good question, and I really wouldn't know where to start. I started international affairs, basically French and international affairs. Came back to Nigeria in '86. Difficult times. My late father had just passed. Struggled with family. You know, the Nigerian polygamous family. So, what did I do? I started working for somebody. Worked for 2 years. I was a printer, simple, you know, nothing exciting. I won the Design of the Year award. So I felt that I had design inside me somewhere along the line. So I guess that's where the whole idea of design coming with luxury started merging together. It's a long story, but I'm sure that we'll get there somewhere.
But then looking at how your career has gone, have you always felt that catering for Africa in particular was going to be your focus? Or did you just draw influences and, like you said, you've kind of evolved over time and happened to have ended up setting up your empire here?
No, I never had any strategy at the beginning. It was just following, you know, I've done many things.
Yeah.
You know, the sequence of the work that I've done is quite large.
Yeah.
So I always sort of, when people ask me, what do? I said, wow. I said, I'm a jack of many trades and a master of
all
some.
of them as well.
Yes,
all of them
exactly.
as well.
That's it, you know.
Because that's a question I wanted to ask. You are in like from the video we saw, you are in so many different sectors that in and of themselves are difficult to master or to find your avenue in. But you've managed to do that. So how do you flip your mindset to be able to adapt to so many different kinds of markets?
Okay, so you're talking about today, where we are today.
Yeah.
How do I flip from one to the
Because
other?
we saw like all your different ventures. They're in
Yeah.
very disparate fields. But
Yeah.
how do you adapt to each one?
Because it's my passion.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see it. It's not difficult. I have a great team, which is always very, very important. We wake up every morning eager to come to work, eager with new ideas, eager to build, eager to please, you know, entertain the market, supply the market. You see, for me, what is most important is actually my client saying to me, fantastic, oh, that's really beautiful. It's not the bottom dollar.
Yeah.
It's not what is in my bank. Of course, we all want to make money.
Yeah.
Of course, I want a nice, big, fat bank account. That will come by doing the right job.
But then a lot of people do have that dream, but then when they run the gauntlet of Africa, it doesn't always come to fruition. So how do you run the gauntlet? Because you are African, you know the way we are. But then what was it about the choices you made that helped you not only capture it, but conquer it?
Africa, that's a good one, because you wonder, why is it that this place is not exploding with retail?
Yeah.
It's just not exploding with retail. But yet, we are some of the largest consumers of luxury products around the world. It's about getting the message across. I've always had a strong belief in Nigeria, in Nigerians. I think Nigerians are the greatest people on earth. absolutely fantastic. And I spread this news all over the world. I sit in dinner parties in New York, in Washington, in Geneva, in London. And I tell them, I said, look, Nigeria is the most friendly place. Nigerians are the most friendly people, the most accommodating. You know, I always tell this joke about how, you know, you've got a Nigerian family and the man is sitting there with his wife and his 6 kids or whatever it is, 8 o'clock at night, and a visitor just rings on the doorbell. The first thing that Nigerian man is going to do, he sees his friend, he gets up from the table, runs, hugs his friend and says, Tunde, you're welcome. Darling, please take all the kids upstairs. Leave the table for Tunde and I. Yeah. If that was in Europe, the first thing that would happen, the doorbell ring, who's that? They sort of open the door with a little peek. Do you have an appointment? Oh, sorry, come back next week. And that's probably his best friend. You know, so the mentality, so the spirit that we have in this country is fantastic. So from day one, I knew that I had to use all the talent and experience that I had acquired, be it in Switzerland, London, New York, whatever it is. And that's what my father sent me there for in the first place. He didn't send me to go and learn and compete with them, to go and then sit there. No, it's to now transfer that back home.
Well, I think I've personally even found that dealing with preconceptions and perspectives of Nigeria is hard. So when you say that you're spreading the message of just how beautiful a nature and a culture is in Nigeria, do you find that you're coming up against people with preconceptions that they're not willing to change?
Oh yeah, but I'm also quite energetic about it. So I wouldn't say forceful, but yeah, it's there. You know, it's for us to change our own message. It's for our government to think about it. You know, yes, in everywhere, in every society, you have bad eggs. Yeah. In Nigeria, we have bad eggs. In Nigeria, we have that crazy 419. But funny enough, the 419 didn't even originate in Nigeria. Oh, really? No, it didn't even originate in Nigeria. Corruption didn't originate in Nigeria. So all this story in Nigeria, corrupt, no, it was imported here. And it was the colonial masters that probably imported it in the first place. Yeah. You know, when they wanted a piece of this, they wanted a piece of this, they played this one against that one. So, yes, it's tough, but we win the case. As we see, our business is growing every day. Yeah. Different aspects of the business is growing. We're getting traction. Yeah. We're not there yet. Yeah. I still have many stories to tell you about some of my discussions with CEOs, luxury brand CEOs. You know,
we're going to get into that in the
next
section.
We're going to get into it. Yeah.
What I did want to ask is that have you found it a benefit being almost cultivated by experiences that are global, having been to all these different countries as you were growing up? And if somebody like homegrown talent wants to emulate what you have done, is it possible without that exposure?
It's possible, but a lot more difficult.
Why
it's a lot more difficult. Well, you know, I know their game. Yeah. You know, I'm up with them. I can compete with them at any sector, in any sphere. In some of the cases, I speak their language. Yeah. You know, I know where they're from. If they tell me their village, I've been in that village. I've probably lived in that village. Yeah. Some VIPs I perhaps even went to school with. Yeah. You know, so yes, there is a big advantage. If you know your terrain, if you know, I give you an example. Let's say skiing, for example. Yeah. I met a CEO of one particular brand. He was an avid skier. So he invited a whole group of people up to the mountains in Stade, one of the famous ski resorts in Switzerland. And he said, let's all go. And they were all looking at me. And they expected the black man to be the first to say, I was the first to put on my boots. Because I used to ski to school. Yeah. You know, schooling in Switzerland, our chalets were above the actual classrooms themselves.
But you see, that's what I mean. Like, you're in a sector that it's almost like it's very elitist because, like Stade or Val d'Isère. I know about that because in boarding school you went on ski trips. Yes. So you're put in a situation where you know that vernacular. Yes. But then, do you think that is almost to the detriment of the luxury industry, that it's very closed doors, members clubs, secret handshakes, that if you're not in the know about these simple things like skiing or knowing which fork to use for which course, you're never going to get in the way you've gotten in? No, it's just an advantage. Yeah. It's just an advantage. The luxury industry is huge, it's global, it's permeating from A++++ all the way down to C+. Yeah. What is luxury today? Yeah.
let's understand. We ask ourselves, what is it? The handbags that we carry? Is it the shoes that we wear? Is it the shirt that, or is it the suit? Is it the car? Is it the watch? The understanding of luxury is completely, it's different for every individual. So if you say about the elitist part, yes, there is an elitist element to the luxury industry, but it's far bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's
But then
far
you
bigger.
don't. I'm not sure if you remember what happened, for instance, with Cristal Champagne when they said they didn't like rappers using it in their music videos. That knowledge of the nouveau riche, people in luxury kind of don't like the idea that anyone can buy into it, but everyone needs to be able to buy into it for it to be globally successful. So where do you sit in your analysis of that area of the industry?
Well, those are products. So everybody needs to be able to have access. If you've got the money, you've got access to that particular product because that's what the brand wants. If we take Louis Vuitton, Louis Vuitton today is perhaps one of the fastest selling luxury products that there is. And a lot of people say, is it still luxury?
Yeah.
Yes, it is still luxury. It is still desirable. It is still aspirational and so on and so forth. But there is another segment where people don't want that branded product, you know, and they think that they are the supreme. They're the ones conducting luxury.
Yeah.
They're the ones who understand what luxury. They don't even want to use the word luxury.
Yeah.
You know, so there's so many words in this thing now. So luxury or no, but it's not. It's not true. It's not true. Let's take it as it is. Luxury is luxury. Aspiration is aspiration. And when people are working, they are working to earn their hard-earned dollar in order to aspire to things. It might be luxury vacation. It might be to buy a new car. It might be to buy a new watch. Women, jewelry, handbag. Women, what is it with you women anyway? Tell me, what is it? Handbag, shoes.
They are a way of life.
How many do you carry at the same time?
No, but it's for every emotion you need a bath.
That's what my wife keeps telling me. I'm still to understand that, but let's see.
But when you think about the different innovations of the industry, for instance, like we just were talking about bags, Hermes, if you want a Birkin, you can't just walk into the store and buy it, you've got to get on the list. And the list closes at a certain month in the year. So how do people like you who build these brands think of ways to make us salivate to get more of it?
You just said it. Yeah. The list closes.
Yeah.
You got to go on the waiting list. It's all well managed. You know, if you said to Hermes today, why can't you triple your production? They say, oh no, because the leather is very special. We have to have this special calf. There's a certain amount of, they'll give you all the excuses why the production has to be limited. And to a large extent, it is true because they want premium product. Okay. They want the best that they can deliver. But I'm sure somewhere along the line, we can find you a Hermes.
Okay, we're going to go
I can find you a Hermes.
Well, we're going to talk so much more now. I'm going to get as much as I can out of you before you leave the show today. But it's time now for a short break on the morning show, coming to you from Abuja. But don't worry, when we return, we'll have more luxury, more elegance, and more diamonds. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to the Arise News channel.